My mission is to always stay true. Live to see my dreams come true with you.
What's up, my people? And guess who's back again? It's your girl, Kamilembe. Anyways, real talk though. Thanks again for tuning in. Welcome back if you are back on my channel again. In this next video, I'm not trying to attack anybody. I'm just trying to create an environment where we can all have a progressive and healthy discussion. I believe it's important that this discussion is to be had. And yeah, this next video is basically just motivated by an argument that I came across on Twitter. And it's basically just locals versus the diaspora. I will be speaking in the context of Tanzanians, and that's only because one, I am Tanzanian, and two, this argument was amongst Tanzanian Twitter. First of all, Tanzanian Twitter is so messy, and I'm calling out everybody on Tanzanian Twitter because we really could do better. Like, come on, let's square up. Like, hello, it's 2020 and we're still arguing over petty dumb things. Yeah, that's what I thought. But yeah, basically the argument was just the locals feeling some type of way about the diaspora and the diaspora feeling some type of way about the locals. Now, I am aware that some locals say this as a joke, but then we also have to be aware that there's a line that has to be toed, you know? Like, there's limits to every joke. Because personally, for me, I don't know where I fit in. Am I a local or am I diaspora? And technically, I fit in both. So I'm in the middle. I'm midway because nilizaliwa Tanzania. I was born in Tanzania. I was raised in Tanzania. You know, nilelewa Bongo. So it's, for me, it's more of like a conflicting issue, and we're creating issues where now people are having an identity crisis. Yani tunajitambuaje? You know, like, what makes a Tanzanian a Tanzanian? Like, do you physically have to be in Tanzania? Ooh, shrub girl, shrub. Golly. Like, do you physically have to be in Tanzania to be a Tanzanian? Or can you also be a Tanzanian but abroad? You know what I mean? So personally, this is something that's been disturbing me quite a lot, because already I've had a lot of identity crisis issues. Like, I've been to international schools my whole life. I'll admit it. I'll say it on camera. I've said it before online. Yes, I have. You know what I mean? And I already had a hard time fitting in. And I know a lot of people can relate with me because you're in an environment where you're a minority already, okay? And imagine being a minority in your own country. Like, that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? And then it's like when you go back home, you're constantly trying to find yourself within your family. You go to family events, huyu ni mzungu sana, huyu anajisikia sana, this, that, and third. But that's really not the case. You know what I mean? And then you go to school and it's like, oh my goodness, she's too African. She's too this. She's too that. So at the same time, like, it's a hurdle that a lot of us are still overcoming, and some of us have overcome. You know what I mean? Also, this argument did lead into, it's funny enough that I say this, it did lead into living abroad makes you more privileged. Now, with this argument, I personally disagree. Why? Kwa sababu not all that glitters is gold, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Like, you know how they say America is the land of milk and honey? It really ain't. Because in America, their economy thrives off a loan-based system. You know what I mean? Like, any item you buy thrives off paying in installments. You know, like, if I wanted to go and buy a phone, majority of the people in this country have to pay that in installments, whether it's monthly or bi-yearly, whatever the case. You know what I mean? Whereas Bongo, hatuna your system. Like, if I wanted to go and buy a phone, nenda dukani, nanunua simu yangu, naondoka, that phone is mine. You know what I mean? And it's the same for cars and houses and all that good stuff. Okay? So I personally disagree. Also, in Bongo, yes, kuna watu ambao hawana kazi, wanahangaika, and it's hard for them to actually get a good job. But in America, it's even harder because you're out here working, 4 jobs a day? A lot of people out here working 4 jobs a day just to survive off on a daily basis. Like, it's really not that. Mimi personally, ukiniuliza, kila siku nalia kwenda nyumbani. Like, I would rather be at home than, be here, because the way the system works here, it just doesn't work for me. And again, that's just because I grew up back home. So this is a whole new system for me that I believe I can't thrive in, And then another argument came up that just because you're an international school kid means that you are privileged. Now, I do understand where people were going with this. Yes, if we're talking in the context of, okay, for example, I went to ISM, International School of Moshi, now known as United World Colleges East Africa. And it's a boarding school. Yes, nikilinganisha hiyo shule na shule zingine. Of course, ISM is way up here. I am not going to deny that. ISM, unafuliwa nguo, your clothes are washed for you, unaamka asubuhi, chakula kishapikiwa, everything. We ate good. Like, we had 3-course meals. Okay, now I know my ISM people are going to be out here complaining, but low-key, that food slapped, whether you want to admit it or not. However, we also have to understand that not everybody who goes to an international school is privileged, okay? There are people who are struggling. There are people who get sponsored to go to these schools. There are people ambao, embassies, okay? Embassies pay for them. I am telling you, if embassies stop paying school fees for a lot of kids who went to these international schools, nakwambia wanafunzi wengi sai wasingekuwa shuleni. And that's fact. When they come back to their respective countries, wanarudisha kwenye shule, okay, equivalent to shule za kata, like government schools, public schools. These are the kind of schools they come back to, okay? But in that sense, when I say not going to an international school doesn't necessarily make you privileged, I'm coming from that point of view. However, I do acknowledge that, yes, there are some international schools where you get way better benefits. Najua kuna watu wengine wako boarding, wanapewa wali marage, afu marage kwa juu unakuta kuna adudu just floating around. You know what I mean? Au watu mnagombania ukoko jikoni, just trying to eat like whatever is left, So I do acknowledge all that. However, I feel like this is a conversation that personally just needs to be had between the locals and diaspora, no matter what country you're from. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's very important to bridge this gap, because at the end of the day, we're still Tanzanian. My passport, Tanzanian. Okay? My parents, Tanzanian. Me, I was born in Tanzania. Kiswahili nakiongea, naomba vizuri tu. So we need to come to an understanding and a mutual grounds as to what makes me less of a Tanzanian and what makes locals in Tanzania more of a Tanzanian. I would love to hear more of your thoughts. Please, 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 please drop your thoughts below, your comments, and share, subscribe. And again, as always, I would always love to hear more from you guys. I want to know what's going on. If you want me to talk about something, hit us up. If you want to get featured, trust me, technology these days is beautiful. We can make things happen. That's the beauty of technology. So yeah, that's all for today, folks. And once again, it's your girl, Kimmy Lambert. Peace. Love.